Hi INFJs, welcome back to my channel. So I used to think that if I replayed every painful moment over and over and over in my head a million times, I'd eventually figure out what went wrong and I could fix myself. But I was very, very wrong. All it did was keep me stuck, trapped in hurt, reliving every single day that same pain over and over again. And I can tell you from experience, overthinking is one of the most effective ways to block our own healing. And today I'm going to share with you why we do this, especially as INFJs and neurodivergent INFJs, and what to do about it instead. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Trina. I'm an INFJ and I'm also autistic. I help INFJs and neurodivergent INFJs remember who they were before the world told them who they weren't. I do this through coaching classes and community. We unlearn the noise and come back home to our soul. So I'm glad that you found my channel. I hope you find it helpful. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. You guys are amazing. If you haven't yet, I invite you to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate your support. Your support helps me come back and be able to do these videos for you again and again, and it's one of my favorite things to do. Alrighty, before we get started, I'm still dealing with allergies, guys, and yeah, my ear is still echoing, so it's making talking very difficult. So you're gonna have to just bear with me because my videos are completely unedited. Let's get into this. This is actually something that I'm in the middle of right now. This is something that I've been unpacking with what's going on in my life. My partner and I are separating, and I've been here before, years ago when my marriage ended. Back then, I didn't know what I know now. I spent years replaying conversations and moments I thought I could have handled differently. You know, I even replayed hobbies and activities that I really enjoyed doing, thinking that I could figure out where I needed to change, where I needed to be more normal. I believe that if I just went through this enough times, I could figure out exactly what I did wrong so I could fix it and make sure that it would never happen again. Does this sound familiar? Let me know in the comments if this sounds familiar. But here's the thing. I never ever got my answers. Not once. All it did was keep me stuck in the pain over and over and over again. It became a cycle I couldn't break. You stop living in the present, missing opportunities that are right there in front of you, because you're constantly stuck in the past. And this really for me, it made me very bitter, full of anger and hatred, and just a very negative person. Now, here I am again. I find myself in this familiar situation. Very similar, much worse this time. And I've noticed that my brain is wanting to go back there again, to replay it all over and over and over again, to search for that missing clarity that is never ever going to be there. And I know this. I know that clarity is never going to be there. But this time I'm catching myself because I know what's actually going on under the surface. You see, our brains are wired to seek safety. And for INFJs, especially if you're neurodivergent, safety often comes from understanding, okay? When we don't understand what happens, it feels unsafe. So that's why when life blows up or something happens and our anxiety will spike, our thoughts will become super rapid, like almost like you can't control them, just running crazy. It's like wild horses in your head. And you become tense and irritated, and generally you want to isolate. This is what I experience. This is why, because we're actually not feeling safe, and we need to understand why this happened to us, okay? So our brains will bridge the gap by creating answers. Our brain comes in and says, oh, we're not safe. I know what's going on, so I'm going to look for answers so that you can feel safe again. It's doing what it's supposed to do. The problem, those answers are often built on self-blame. We think, it's my fault, I can fix it. If I can fix it, I can make sure it doesn't happen again and I can feel safe. Does that sound familiar? It's twisted, but in a weird way, self-blame feels like control. And when we feel powerless, because when you're in that state, you feel very powerless. Control is addictive. So what do we do about this? When I thought about it, not what do we do about it, why do we do this? Sorry. My apologies. Words are difficult today and my videos are unedited, so you're going to have to bear with the oopses. Why do we do this? I unpack this a lot because, again, I need to understand everything. And when I unpacked it, four reasons came up, thinking, like working with my clients and myself, why do we do this? 4 common things came up. So I'm going to share them with you. Now these 4, they're not in order, so one's not more important than the other or happen more often than the other. They're just 4 common ones that I see come up quite often. And I can relate to all 4 of them. Number 1, we need closure to calm our nervous system. Without answers, our mind will create them, even if they're wrong and even if they hurt us. We actually just discussed that. Number 2, we confuse replaying with problem solving. We think we're just working through it. It's okay. I'm just working through stuff. I'll be okay. But we're actually just reliving the pain in a loop. Number 3, we believe self-blame equals protection. If it's our fault, we can fix it. If it's someone else's fault, we have to accept we can't change them, and that can be very terrifying. Number 4, we've been conditioned to think that we're the problem. I mean, with this one, think about it. How many times in your entire life were you told that you're too sensitive, you're a sissy, you're weird, you're too stupid, you're too much, maybe you're not enough? Countless times for me, countless times. Self-blame sadly becomes our default setting. We don't even question it. We just assume that we're the problem right away, right? And that's what I did. Even this present time, that's exactly what I did. My partner was the one that messed up drastically. I was home tending to my responsibilities with integrity, trying to keep our family from falling apart. Yet when it finally did, I blame myself for everything. Crazy, isn't it? It's very sad. But there's a hidden cost to this, right? It's not that it's just wasting our time and our energy. It steals our sleep, our ability to be in the present moment, which is very crucial. But it's also stealing the chance of creating the most amazing life that we are all longing for. Because when we stay in this loop in the past, we miss all those opportunities that are coming. It's crazy. Once we break this loop, I know from experience, once we break the loop, we start seeing these opportunities that were always there, but we couldn't see them before. It can keep our nervous system in a constant state of alert. So even when the situation is over, our body is still living it like it's happening right now. And that doesn't feel very good. That's why we will feel exhausted, but still restless at the same time. And that's a horrible feeling. When you're exhausted, you're restless, you still can't sit still, you can't stop those thoughts from running through your head at Mach 150 million. I don't know if that's a speed, but that's what it feels like. And that's exactly why I created my new workshop, Breaking the Overthinking Loop, How to Find Calm When Your INFJ Brain Just Won't Shut Off. Because it's not just about telling yourself, stop overthinking. That doesn't work. It's not that easy. Trust me, I've tried. It's about understanding why our brain does this and how to catch ourselves before it spirals and what to do instead so that you can finally create that mental space that you need to heal. If this is something that you're struggling with, maybe for a month or a few months or maybe years like myself, I lived this way for years, I'd love for you to join me. I'll leave the link in the description of this video. And no, you don't have to be there live. You don't have to attend live. I'm actually recording it, so a replay will be sent out to everyone who registers. That was just off the top of my head because that's usually a common question we have. So, what do we do about this? I want to leave you with one of my favorite ways for breaking this overthinking loop. It feels more like a jail, doesn't it? The overthinking jail. It feels like a jail because we get stuck in there and it feels like we just can't get out. I know that feeling all too well, and it's a little bit scary. I call it the brain dump method. So what I do is I grab a timer and I set it for maybe 10 minutes, maybe 8 minutes, maybe only 5 minutes. It depends on what I've got going on that day. And for that time, I allow myself to overthink it deeply. Just let those thoughts run. When the timer rings, I grab a piece of paper and a pen. I set it again for the same amount of time, and then I brain dump. I write down all my thoughts on that piece of paper. I don't care if they make sense. I don't care if they're spelled right. I don't care if the punctuation's right. I just brain dump. When the timer rings, I put down my pen. I take my paper. I scrunch it all up. Maybe even rip it. If I feel I need to rip it, I will rip it. Throw it in the trash. And then I get up and I go do something I enjoy doing, but I make sure it's something physical. So like gardening or going out for a walk or dancing. See, our mind and body are connected. If we change our physical state, we can shift our mental one too. So that's why I want to go do something physical. So I hope that's helpful. It works really good for me. I learned it quite a few years ago and I've been using it lots lately. But here's what I've learned. You can't heal if you're constantly ripping the wound open every day. It's not going to happen, right? Wounds don't heal when they're constantly being ripped open. The goal isn't to erase what happened or to pretend it didn't hurt. That's not the goal at all. Yep, it happened, and yep, it hurt bad. The goal is to stop letting it control your present moment right now, your present time, right? You want to take back your life. So you might still think about it sometimes. I mean, that's normal, right? But when we catch ourselves replaying it over and over, that's our cue to pause and ask, is this helping me heal or is it keeping me stuck? The more we practice, the faster we'll catch it and the less power it will have over us. I hope this was helpful. If you've been stuck in the loop, replaying the hurt, please know you're not broken or bad at life or bad at healing. Healing is definitely possible. Your brain is just trying to keep you safe the best way it knows how. But safety doesn't come from solving every unanswered question. It comes from learning to live in the present, even without all the answers. And if you want help breaking the loop for good, I'd love for you to join me in Breaking the Overthinking Loop, my new workshop. In my next video, you might want to stick around, stay tuned for my next video. We're going to unpack how sensory overload isn't just irritating for INFJs and neurodivergent INFJs. It quietly shapes our choices, our relationships, and even our emotional health. And once you see it, you just can't unsee it. So stay tuned. Thanks for joining me. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you related to anything I said, or if this is helpful, or if you've tried my brain dump method. I've talked about it a few times, so I'm curious if it's been helpful. Again, if you haven't, I invite you to like my video, subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate the support, and feel free to share it. The more times it's shared, the more INFJs we get to help, and that's what it's all about. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.